think this is a secret that is going to just explode, and people are going to start looking at this more and more, that animals long ago figured out how to cure themselves when they're injured, when they're sick. And, you know, Western medicine's great, but animals hold secrets.
A pretty new branch of science called zoopharmacognosy. It is animals that have the ability, have the awareness to know what fruits, berries, leaves will protect themselves so that they can live longer in nature.
And that when they're injured, they know how to cure themselves and heal themselves.
Well, it's as simple as a dog going out in the yard and chewing up some grass when they have an upset stomach.
Actually, when you do survival training, one of the things they tell you is if you're in an environment that you don't know, just to watch whatever the bears do or any small rodents.
That is so interesting.
Aristotle talked about how bears, when they came out of hibernation, the first thing that they would do is look for garlic, because garlic was very high in vitamin C, it's very high in magnesium, and it's what they need to survive when they get out of hibernation. So if a bear knows that naturally, what can we learn from that?
Let's not forget, we too are animals. And before we approached society with the scientific revolution and medicine, we did exactly what animals do today. And we knew to use turmeric to deal with infections and inflammation. We knew to use garlic. We knew to use ginger for GI issues. We knew all of those things. And so my position is that what animals are doing today is what we have always been doing, but we abandon it in modern times.
Well, we're making it sound like medicine is magic, but it is based on plants and animals. I mean, that is what we base it on.
My favorite example of this is the capuchin monkey. In their wild lives, they live in Central and South America, and of course they live in groups. And of course, if you live in the jungle, your skin gets like full of mosquito bites, it gets scrapes and all this kind of stuff. And they've learned that the piper leaf, if you chew it up and rub it on yourself, it helps like heal all of your wounds.
This orangutan had a cut on its face, and it was using this plant and would eat it and then rub it on its face, and in a month, the wound was gone.
I feel like it would take a month anyway, wouldn't it?
Well, but still, I mean,
it's a long time.
You look at Eastern culture and Eastern society, you would see that a lot of people saw animals as beings to coexist with, as opposed to the way that we see it. We see animals as entertainment in the context of a zoo or food, or we see them as pets. But in places like Eastern culture where animals are revered, they saw them as beings to kind of coexist with, and thus they were able to learn from them as far as natural remedies.
If this is truly about self-medicating and we're part of the animal kingdom, then how come we're not as good at it as they are? I mean,
they are not as good as we are.
But you know when our population exploded? When we introduced Western medicine.
Yeah, antibiotics.
Yeah, exactly.
Antibiotics is the turning point. With the introduction of penicillin, we started relying so heavily because, quite frankly, a lot of people died before penicillin. Things that we don't even bat an eye at.
I mean,
a cold, a rusty nail, a dog bite, whatever.
You're right. It's not either or, right? Traditional ecological knowledge is like is a real thing.
But maybe we turned our back on things we shouldn't have turned our back on.
But that's what I'm saying. That there's clearly a place for penicillin and other medicines.
Even researchers who work on this wouldn't deny that there's something important here. I mean, that's how we learn through medicine. We watch plants and animals, but the point is that these aren't supplements for medicine for major infection, cancer. Yeah, like you can't mess around, and that's where you have to be careful and make sure people don't think that they can eat basil and they're gonna be cured of their ulcers.
You guys know me. You know I'm Mr. Science on all this kind of stuff, but working in the jungle for years on end, I've worked with local people and with some of the plants that you don't have here, right? And no, they're not gonna cure cancer tomorrow, right? But they do real things like help you with your cough or help you with your stomachache. There are other natural remedies that can really scientifically help.